Welcome back to Sip the Tatler Films. And today on Sip the Tatler Films, we're going to take a look at some excerpts from Harb's press conference. And you can't really play the press conference and then talk about it. Some channels can, but others get demonetized, whatnot. So what I'm going to do is I got the official statements up here, the transcripts, and I'm going to read a few things that he said and kind of give my reaction to them and just tell you where I see and where I don't. So first off, in his opening statement, he says, "Good to see you guys here. Appreciate it. Obviously, that was a disappointing loss, a tough loss for us. We did not play well. We have to put up more points. Bottom line, we have to do things better in terms of moving the ball through the air, making plays in the red zone, not turning the ball over. All facts so far. Those are all the things that can cost you a game in December. Those things not only cost you the game in December, they cost you the game in August, September, October, November, December, January, and playoffs. So that's a blanket, bland statement. It says every area can improve, and that's what we're going to go to work on. Run game, been off the chain for the past 2 weeks, right at a little under 200 yards this week, over 200 last week. So the thing is, with the run game doing this without Lamar, I expect them to keep doing this and not factor Lamar legs into the run game. Let the running backs run the ball, and if Lamar have to, get one on a scramble or a third and short or something like that, so be it. But don't put his legs into a big factor in the run game. Let the O-line and the running backs keep doing what they're doing, and runs you get from Lamar should be extra. All right. So on scoring 2 touchdowns in the past 3 games and what needs to change. So basically, the Ravens have only scored 2 touchdowns the past 3 games. He says we just have to start scoring touchdowns. In terms of what really needs to change, to your question, but we have to do things better. You can't turn the ball over. You have to run the right routes to get defenders. You have to run the right route, the routes the right way to get between defenders and free the ball. You can't fumble the ball. You have to put the ball away when you're getting upfield. That's winning football, and our guys know that. So at this point, before he goes on, to me, he's throwing, yes, those guys did those things, but from my point of view, and my thing is when you're a coach, even if the guys do those things, you still have to take accountability because you're the top guy. Don't, you may say that to the team, like, hey, D Jack, you need to do this, or D Rob, you need to do this. But when it comes out to talking to the media and talking to the people that gonna question I think you have to take accountability for it. That's one thing I don't really see him doing at this point. He's really kind of passing the buck along to the players, saying they need to do things right, which they should. They should. But I don't think you put that in the press as a coach. You just got, you even if you don't believe it, you just say, I got to coach it better, or we have to coach it better. That's what I was taught, and that's what I've seen guys I've worked for do. Even if I mess up, the head coach will say, well, we just got to get better and whatnot. And I'd be the first to say, I've never called anything perfectly. He says he was asked on having 200 rushing yards today, but not being able to capitalize on that. He said, of course, that's the thing. It's about points. We have to score points. So again, you can have 600 yards of offense. If you turn the ball over and kick field goals, it's a possibility you're gonna lose. It's a great possibility we're gonna lose. So again, even though we pounded them for 198 yards, that was 1 yard that we didn't get that kind of hurt us. And I agree with the play call early in the game. We were gashing them. I agree with going for it on 4th down, and I agree with the play call with handing it to Ricard. He just got stopped. It happens. But again, I said it then. I'll keep saying I agree with going for it that early in the game, based off the momentum we had from rushing, and I agree with giving it to Ricard on 4th and 1, especially after trying to do a jet sweep on 4th and 1 last week and end up being a fumble or whatnot. So somebody asked him about on the decision to go for it on 4th down during the open possession. Yes, you're on the 15-yard line and it's 4th and 1. I think we ought to be able to get a 4th and 1, and we didn't. And I agree 100%. That's what I'm saying. I agree with that call. I'm not going to jump on him about that. I think that was the right thing to do. The players just didn't execute that. He says, if the passing game will be freed up by getting Lamar Jackson back. He says, we'll see on that. We have a heck of a quarterback sitting right here, and he was talking about Snoop. This guy knows what he's doing. He plays with his heart. He's very capable of doing all the things we need to do in the passing game. Bold-faced lie. Now, let's break that statement down. He says he knows what he's doing, which that part is probably correct. He plays with his heart. There's no doubt in my mind that he does that. He's very much capable of doing all the things we need him to do in the passing game. That part is not a statement. And I agree, you got to say that because your guy's sitting right there. But he cannot. He cannot complete balls down the field to get guys out the box, which makes it even harder to run the ball, which makes it even more of a moral victory that they know we couldn't throw past 10 yards. They knew that he really didn't want to run coming off concussion protocol. So they knew that we were going to be handing the ball off, and we still hit him for 198. And I don't recall seeing J.K. in the fourth quarter, and I don't remember seeing very much of Gus in the fourth quarter too. So with that being said, they knew where the ball was going and how it was coming because we ran counter a lot, and they weren't able to stop it. That says the communication problems again, getting plays out at the last minute. I think out of a timeout, we end up getting a delay of game or having to try to call another one of the two. It says yes, there were some headset issues. The way they do their sound system here messes with the phones, and it's just the way it works. So we just have to deal with it. I don't know. I'm not on the play call deal. You're the head coach. You have to be on everything. You have to be on everything deal. You have to be on passing the jerseys out deal. You have to be on making sure the players, be in the right meetings deal. It's everything falls up under you. There's no way you can pass anything that happens, good or bad, off. You can't accept all the good and then try to pass the bad off. It's just not something a head coach should do, in my opinion. Somebody asked him if he feels J.K. Dobbins could have scored on this 37-yard run if he was fully healthy. He says, I don't know. I'm really not thinking that way now. The obvious question is, yeah, he probably would have scored if he was fully healthy. I have to look at this. To me, it's a big picture thing. We have to find ways to put points up. All the things that you guys are talking about are things we have to find a way to do better. So that means the media now is turning and finally starting to, the media that can get to them and ask them questions are finally starting to see things the way us random guys see it, and the way the middle ground people see it. They're starting to ask questions. They're starting to be like, this system may not work, and a lot of people are changing their opinions. A lot of people that are on TV and influence a lot of Baltimore Ravens fans are starting to change their tune because they're with Twitter you have receipts. So there are instances out there where they were saying that we had a good enough receiver core to be good, that Prochet was good enough to do things, and that that basically we had enough to get things going. We had enough on the defensive side and had enough on the offense to go win a championship. And they're really starting not to believe that now, which we've been saying that for a long time. And even though I'm a fan of Prochet, it's just for what we need receivers to do, I guess he just is not it. And every opportunity he gets, it's a stressful situation. Like I think he played 2 plays, and I have to go back and check the play numbers, but they were both crucial plays, both fourth downs. And for him to come in cold and have to produce like that, that's tough on the kid. Not saying he shouldn't do it because he's a pro, but that's tough. I don't play all game, then you come in, I got to produce on this play or we lose, or it's crucial. That's BS. Lastly, I'll talk about the injuries to Peters and Calais Campbell. He says we'll know more tomorrow, which is today. I haven't heard anything on those guys just yet. But what I will say is any injury news coming from Harbaugh, don't believe it. Don't believe it. So I really just want to hit on those few topics from the presser, because again, every time I try to show the presser and stop it and talk about it, it gets demonetized. So I'll have to start doing it this way. And again, I appreciate you guys for coming through. Just quick little tidbits: like, comment, subscribe, especially if it's your first time here. And I'll see you guys tonight with the roundtable. This is kind of a little wrap up, and more to come soon. Peace.